to see them on Ascent.
Yeah, they swap him out, but it's been next man up, and Profi has filled in that role just fine. Now for Serenity, this is it, right? Like, if you want a chance to play in to the playoffs, if you want a chance for top 8, you've got to execute, you've got to do it here. We understand that it is an uphill battle, so to speak, knowing Moon Raccoon's proficiency on this map, but there is no reason to hold cards back anymore. They've got to give them everything they've got. You see Moon Raccoon's already going in aggressively as FIEND Tokyo drifts his way on top of that boathouse and gets in on the kill while being flashed. Rebo joins in on it as well. Serenity already getting picked apart.
Yeah, we saw TenZ do a lot of the same stuff against Space Station Gaming earlier in the day. He would just tailwind force his way onto the site, but we may have to a little bit of a contested round on our hands. It's down to the 2v2. Showtime and FIEND both still alive. Oh, but I like this play from Moon Raccoons. They're rotating around, trying to catch them on the flank from the behind. There's going to be the engagement. First one goes to ALEKSANDAR, but now it's all down to Eazy. He's going to try to start the defuse. Shots through the cardboard. He has no idea where they're coming from. First shot's going to be good. Down to one more player, but he's got the smoke. Oh my goodness. FIEND's got to get in there. He's down to minuscule HP. He gets off the defuse. Eazy pulling out of the smoke. Shot's going to be good. Serenity, does he have enough time to defuse? Yes, he does. 3 seconds left on the clock. A solid retake. I thought for sure that was Moon Raccoons' round.
Well, and it started off so well for them. Serenity drops some flashy plays from FIEND, but it went from bad to worse, really, because Moon Raccoons, again, like you said, started to rotate off of the site. Oftentimes, you'll see players play back site to try to cause some problems from there and provide fire onto the spike, but they rotated away. They even got one of the people on the side of Serenity's that was kind of lurking around, but at the end of the day, it was just so well played from Eazy. This time, Moon Raccoons showing a bit more of a presence towards A. I don't believe... Oh, yeah, it looks like they did buy up a little bit. FIEND has a Spectre here.
Yeah, this force up is super important for Moon Raccoons. I think they felt they deserved that round, considering how dominant it was in the push, right?
Wow.
And considering how dominant this push is too, it's definitely throwing Serenity for a loop.
Yep.
It's down to 2 players. But once again, it was down to 2 players last time, and they still managed to find 3 picks somehow in the chaos. So, well, yeah, speak too soon. You blink and you miss it. Turnup and Eazy getting to work. 2 more players remain. Can Serenity retake the site? I think that's a possible answer.
Unbelievable. You spoke that thing into existence. Alexander is going to be paranoid and pushes in. Eazy from behind is able to take care of him. Rebo drops Eazy as well, but the shock dart. A 3K for Turnup. That's the 2nd time now, folks, that Moon Raccoons look like they're in a position to almost assuredly win a round, but Serenity rip it from right out of their hands.
So now the start is going to be brutal for the Moon Raccoons. Like, think about the tempo swing of the first 2 rounds. They found so much success, but I wonder if there is some sort of hint of confidence that was oozing from Moon Raccoons, and they thought maybe they could fight off a little bit more than they can fully chew. Because Serenity, they're not a bad team by any means. They managed to take down Complexity earlier on in this specific group, and I think the Moon Raccoons definitely were taught a lesson. They were humbled in that experience, and so now pistol likely going to be another faster-ish hit, because you can't really force up on the round that you forced up last round and lost. So now it's going to be the classic T1 strategy, pushing up through the middle. We'll see how it does pan out for them. Ooh. Omen's going to get to safety.
Yeah, you saw a couple of smokes create some cover so that they had room to work with, but Eazy there with the Spectre, not realizing there were a couple of members of Moon Raccoons just on the other side of the smoke. The Cloud Burst is going to come out from FIEND. They're going to work their way forward, and FIEND drops.
Oh, trade. Eazy teleported to safety. Oh, here's the Cyber Cage. Oh, and he's right there. Good placement too there from the crosshair down to the 3v4. Even this eco, the fact that Moon Raccoons are oozing this type of confidence and able to still push up and find so much success, it still is a showcase of their talents. However, Scourge and Showtime holding down the defense and still making it a little bit expensive for Serenity, who have had time to build up a little bit of an economy. Looking at some of those numbers, up 4,000 and upwards, so they'll be able to at least buy some of those assault rifles moving into this one. And Moon Raccoons, this is the round that we've been waiting for them. FIEND not going to buy up, maybe saving for that aggressive offensive operator, but he does have the Blade Storm, and he's positioned to play aggressively towards that A main side.
Really impressed by Serenity so far and how even with the confidence with which Moon Raccoons have played, they've been able to hold fast every single time. There's that Blade Storm that you were talking about, plus a little bit of utility from Breach is going to push back Showtime, but he's still going to be holding things down. That Cloudburst again, kind of delaying things, waiting. Meanwhile, Moon Raccoons have used that drone to create, or to get a little bit of information up across the middle of the map, see if anyone's home. But it looks like they want to go A, Simo.
Profi is trying to get into a position currently to gather enough space towards the middle. If they fail this push, they can really just decide to push in from the opposite side. But the Rolling Thunder is really giving us a different look. They just want to get onto the side. They do so. Joseph's going to find one in the tree room. And unfortunately, the Blade Storm, no! FIEND gets taken down. Profi finds the lurk, and it's all down to him from behind. He's not going to find much success. It's all down to ALEKSANDAR. This gun round really falling apart for Moon Raccoons. It's a 1v3 scenario. ALEKSANDAR here on the breach might consider saving the Vandal. They've already lost too many rounds, and this was the round that they were supposed to turn things back into their favor. Yeah, this execute did not work out on the A side.
Serenity has been very impressive on the defensive half so far. We saw, again, strong aggression shown from Moon Raccoons, and in this round too, given the fact that Moon Raccoons had guns, they invested the Rolling Thunder to create some space. They were able to get onto the site, but Serenity, after that, were able to pick them apart here.
10 seconds left.
And presumably are going to take, a 4-round lead here on Moon Raccoons' map. Again, Serenity have been very impressive to me early on here on Ascent.
And when we talk about the success of Moon Raccoons on Ascent, we're talking about victories against Complexity, talking about victories against FaZe, we're talking about victories against Mamba Mode Gaming, talking about victories against Time In. I know Time In, isn't a TSM or a Cloud9, but they still have proven their worth as a team, as a competitive roster. The Moon Raccoons definitely no slouch. And it is on the defensive side that they're more comfortable. So to see them lose this way is not super surprising, but it's definitely a little shocking to be down 4 rounds in the beginning of this half.
And it does not change Moon Raccoons' plan at all. The deficit does not impact, or it has not up until this point, has not changed the way they want to play. We just saw FIEND again be very aggressive. They were able to get a pick across the middle of the map. Meanwhile, all of the action is going to be going down towards A as the spike has been planted. A couple of kills are going to be traded. Joseph up from heaven. Can use that Leer to peek out a little bit further, create some more room as they try to fight back to take control of the site.
Oh, there's still a player down in hell. I believe he might have been dispatched accordingly. Now it's up to this Hunter's Fury from Profi. Oh, does see one, tags him down. Will the shock dart land? Oh, he's got to line this up perfectly. Oh, it's coming. Oh, not in the nick of time. The defuse was stuck by Scourge. He saw it after the second or the third Hunter's Fury. 5-0 start for Serenity. This is the turning point for the Moon Raccoons. If they do not win this round, there's just a strong feeling that we may be seeing a map 3. It's not 100%, but being down 6 rounds, how many more rounds are you going to get, in this half? Your best bet is a 6-6, but you'd need to win 6 in a row. And Serenity, they're feeling comfortable. Let's look at the setup once again for Moon Raccoons. Heavy push towards this A main is about how it's going to start, but there's membership there from Serenity, and there's a player in the wine cellar.
Well, I love the little smoke there, but as you said, they've got to be careful about Scourge on that Reyna in wine cellar. We've seen this exact spot not be checked, and it's caused problems, and he's already able to get 2. The damage has been done. Moon Raccoons was able to trade it out. However, as they're down to 2 members left, the spike has been picked up, just ensuring that there's nobody else. Double checking, triple checking. ALEKSANDAR, through the paranoia, is still able to get one as he fires blindly into the chaos. He somehow stays alive with 7 health, but he's going to be the last. Or excuse me, Serenity's just going to be down to 1 member left. Turnup, that's the round that they win?
Yeah.
out of all of the looks that Moon Raccoons have had, that's the one they pull off.
Yeah, they somehow just stopped the heaven push with a smoke. Yeah, just not even a wall, not even, there's nothing there, but just smoke and mirrors. And that's honestly what that round felt like. But, I like the adaptation for Serenity to stop these ridiculous A main pushes. They put a player in the wine cellar. Scourge finds 2 before he's traded back out. And then you're right. Somehow, some way, the A side hit was a little strange. And now Moon Raccoons are like, yeah, we're not going there ever again. We're still going to show some presence there. But this time, let's work the B-main angle and see what success we can find.
Look at some info, too. Nice. Wow. Right into his lap. Meanwhile, Turnup's going to use that Hunter's Fury. Getting an idea that there might be somebody outside towards B main. I believe he tagged up. No, he didn't. I thought for a moment he had tagged up a couple of players of Moon Raccoons, but no, they're safe. They're certainly healthy. And right now they're mulling over where they want to go. Look at how aggressive Showtime's going. Yeah, the Blade Storm takes care of Rebo as he continues to get more space and more real estate for Serenity.
Yeah, this slow-moving push towards the B side has given Showtime so much time to figure out, okay, I can push safely up through A lobby, and now it is up to how Moon Raccoons play the rest of this round out. They trade with a push forward, and once more trades continue, but Turnup holds down the line on the B side. He will not be tested. 3K on the round. And I think ultimately if Rebo finds that pick, then things look a little bit better for Moon Raccoons. But the fact that they were being pinched in by Showtime, well, they had no idea that they were being pinched in by Showtime. But the death of Rebo says, we got to move, and we got to move now. Because they were slow developing this B push. And then once they were under the pressure, they couldn't really handle it quite well.
Yeah, and the truth is, as much as Showtime was in a position to cause some serious problems, didn't even get a chance because Turnup held it down. Interesting look here early on from Moon Raccoons as they're not playing anything aggressively towards A. They're actually establishing some cat control. We haven't seen this a ton, Simo.
This might be the ticket too, because I think this is a little bit of a weak spot for Serenity. They usually have membership on the ground itself, and yeah, as the camera unfortunately is going to spot them out, it's also going to be the demise of FIEND, not able to convert onto the second, but they're already on the site. Spike's going to go down. Shock Dart will stop Scourge from pushing forward. They're going to plant in a little bit of an awkward spot. Aftershock will also not allow them push up from the heaven side. So now this retake, 4v3, Serenity, they got to make sure they do this right.
Certainly not a sure thing ever. Especially here on Ascent, you see the Empress has been used. It's going to get flashed up and it's going to be forced to back up. Meanwhile, the Leer is going to be used from them as they've got a couple of players, Moon Raccoons does, right around the generator, but Serenity has been able to pick them apart. Turnup's trying to hold fast as Moon Raccoons is just down to one. Profi with the operator was able to take care of him. Looking for another one. He gets it. A thrifty round. A 3K farm with the operator. Moon Raccoons put up the second round.
What a solid hold there from Profi. I didn't even know how he managed to find an op in all that chaos, because I'm pretty sure Moon Raccoons didn't have the best weaponry moving into that one. And to be fair, for the first time, Serenity on an eco of their own, it seems like the 2 rounds that Moon Raccoons were able to win. And to be fair, these ecos have been very expensive. Despite losing a lot of rounds, I think Moon Raccoons have still managed to keep this close. They just haven't been as convincing as we've seen them on the Haven side. So now, back to basics. Presence towards A main, and Showtime is like, well, what's going on? Aren't they coming in from that side? Aren't they coming in from that side? Nope. They're coming in from both angles. Catwalk and A main. Profi finds one. Rebo with the second. Another comes in for Rebo. 2 members remain for Serenity. This eco did not work out as a Moon Raccoons eco would.
No, and under normal circumstances, I would look at this and go, all right, this surely is going to be around for the attack. But Serenity, maybe not in this dire of a situation, but they've been in positions like this before, and they've been able to pull off filthy stuff. Not going to be the case this time around. A flawless round for Moon Raccoons, and this is more of the Moon Raccoons that we expected to see, right? Giving a couple of different looks on the attacking side for them to split their resources and use the Rolling Thunder to clear out tree, dash their way in. This is where they're really playing out of strength, and this is what we expected to see from Moon Raccoons.
Yeah, they're slowly starting to heat up. 3 rounds remain. 6-6, still a possibility. The likelihood of it, I can't disclose. I don't have all the numbers. I don't have all the stats, but definitely better off than like a 10-2 or an 11-1, which is what they were potentially staring down. Showtime having a little bit of presence to look in towards A main, but he has to back away quickly as the one-way kind of somehow favors Moon Raccoons, and they use the shock darts to clear out the wine cellar.
Yeah, they're not getting bit by that bug again. They were also able to get the ult orb down A. which is very important. We'll keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, members of Moon Raccoons have really taken a good bit of presence, a good bit of real estate over towards B. You see that deep camera getting info. It looked like it got taken out. There was a Lear used as well, but that's exactly where the spike is going. Rebo, the tip of the spear for Moon Raccoons, looking to create some more room for Moon Raccoons.
I mean, we saw this aggressive push work out quite frequently for Moon Raccoons, but it's not something that I think is going to work again. Joseph and Scourge hold the line. So far, Spike's still not down. They still need to get somehow onto the Spike. Temperature through the smoke is going to find Joseph, and they may just pull back over towards the A site. They have from the shadows. Teleport comes through, but FIEND has to hightail it over. He doesn't have a lot of time to do so. Spike now being planted. Can FIEND here make it in time? Showtime with the op. FIEND has now made his way to the tree room, and the two members from Serenity are going to be late to the party. And by the time that happens, we might be down to 30 or 20 seconds left. Temperature takes out the op, and this is huge for Moon Raccoons.
It really is, and now FIEND has shown up with an operator of his own. Oh, that looked like it was going to be a good paranoia, but you see members of Serenity were able to just sidestep it. That smoke coming out is certainly going to cause problems as well. As Temperature gets one, gets four, and he gets dropped. It's still going to be an operator in the hands of FIEND. Oh, he's gonna swing. Yeah, he's gonna take care of him too. Turnup drops. Moon Raccoons, it was spicy. It took some serious heroics from Temperature, but they're able to get that round as well.
You know, I think my biggest question is what was going through Serenity's mind during that round, because the TP from Temperature over towards the A site caused half of the members to fast rotate, and then Scourge and Turnup stayed backside. And ultimately, I think they may have been thinking, okay, it's a fake, it's a pump fake. They're going to TP and B main and then just funnel in. So I think Serenity was just making sure that they had their bases covered, but still a little rough. Now we're sitting at 6-4. Moon Raccoons on the precipice of catching up. And we'll see how they deal with this round. Lack of A main presence for the first time as they want courtyard control for their plans.
Yeah, and you don't really even see a ton.
Wow.
Yeah, that was nasty.
You missed it. That was some Roka level sheriff work. Like, I barely even saw the shoulder of Scourge before he swung out. Just quick and dirty. Finds the opening pick. It's FIEND, no less, who's been quite a performer for Moon Raccoons over the past two maps.
Retrieved the spike.
But knowing Moon Raccoons, the odds are never out of their favor, and they still always have the potential to find multi-kills. Temperature found 4 on the round last time. Serenity play passive towards the middle, and a little bit of passive play towards the A site, where the spike is currently being headed.
Oh, this time they're not going to have any tree room control. They're going to be funneling all of their resources in from one side. That paranoia. Oh, that paranoia keeps Showtime alive for just long enough to get a kill, but he's going to drop. Eventually, Moon Raccoon's just down to Temperature. Temperature, who was able to get 4K the last round in a similar position, and so far the results have been the same. He is able to get one, but he's going to get exposed. They know exactly where he is. He doesn't have the spike in his hands either. You see members of Serenity start to rotate over. No way. No way.
Wow.
Again?
Oh my goodness. And now if he plays this correctly, he actually has huge success. How does he find it again? Oh, he had the 4K. He TP'd and had a 4K. Oh my God.
The door's going to be closed. They're certainly going to give away their position. You see him fire their way through. Temperature playing this cheeky corner with 26 health. He's got to be so careful. Any bit of movement, and that's going to give him away. Now he's starting to swing forward, being very patient about how he plays this as well. Serenity have no idea, but Joseph wisely, Spidey sense is tingling, turns around and happens to see Temperature. He had the opportunity to pull off something filthy there, but unfortunately wasn't able to deliver. Serenity, a big round for them to shift the momentum back their way.
Last round, both teams have enough to buy. Should be a spicy round. Ultimates available for Serenity, while on the Moon Raccoons, Rebo close, Profi close, and the rest of the team likely not going to have anything to work with unless some crazy 4K comes out once again. Serenity, that would have been a tough, demoralizing round to lose. But really, the story of the half was how hot Serenity started and how hot Moon Raccoons had to be to really climb back. We could see them climb back here once more. As we see, wait a second. Showtime. You rarely see those defensive Jett plays to updraft over and find Bladestorm kills. And that's going to be a huge opener for Serenity.
Moon Raccoon's got a good bit of info to understand through that drone where some of the presence of Serenity is going to be. You see the flash coming out of ALEKSANDAR. So the flash, as they get onto the site, you see the Hunter's Fury has been used. Turnup is able to take care of ALEKSANDAR, and you hear the Empress in response. Scourge still up in heaven, trying to create some more room. It's going to get backed off, however, as the spike has been planted.
Serenity going to back away. FIEND is going to fall. Another kill will go on to Rebo. This is going to be a tough spot for Profi, but he does have the Hunter's Fury, and there will be no Fury remaining for this half. Serenity will close things out 8-4. Started off hot and finished off hot as the Moon Raccoons will move into the second half on the defensive side, a side that they prefer. We expected, well, to be fair, I didn't expect this rough of a half from the Moon Raccoons, but now this is their half to shine. We'll see how Serenity can make quick work and try to close things out to bring us to a map 3.
And again, I think the most impressive thing about that half was how well Serenity responded after after how really chaotic of a first couple of rounds went down, right? Like, they were able to pull a couple of those rounds early on out of their hats. You saw Moon Raccoons invest in heavy, and they were able to hold them off anyway, given everything that was being thrown at them. It was just a very impressive half out of Serenity, but now, as you mentioned, they've got to be able to do so on this half as well, to keep the series alive, to keep their hopes, their dreams for First Strike as a possibility. FIEND just got plenty of information. This bad boy's hot and heavy. They're going to A, and there's nothing that's going to impede their push.
Well, at least FIEND will, because he's playing close range. Ghost ringing true, gonna find one. He still has the tailwind, but he will not be tailwinding this round, as it's down to the 4v3. Spike still needs to be planted, but now Moon Raccoons members are on the site. The jumping classic really working out in kind here for Scourge, as it boils down to Profi and ALEKSANDAR. Well, just make that just Profi, as Serenity decimates and starts the round off hot 9-4. See a 10-4 after this one. If Moon Raccoons decide to force up, they may not want to force that issue. This is going to be likely a very close half, but I think this is not something that you and I had expected moving into a map that is known by the Moon Raccoons.
No, certainly not. I do like that Moon Raccoons is not forcing up here, right? Like, given how things panned out the first time they tried that in the opening half and the subsequent rounds, and the fact that here on the second half, it's not like they have a super long leash to work with. They don't have a ton of room for error. If they were to force up and potentially lose it, we're almost certainly talking about map 3. Profi was the only one who bought up a little bit, had a stinger, makes it sing so far.
Cage 3.
Cages come through, 4 members strong here from Serenity in the B main side. Rebo trying to reposition, hold down this A side as well as he can. As he backs up into the tree room, he sees that there's a couple of members coming his way, and he gets into the A main side. Shots coming in from the back. It's ALEKSANDAR. He's going to find Eazy. Scourge just waiting for the push forward, but he doesn't know that his teammates are falling out behind him. It's all down to temperature. 1v2 almost works out for the Moon Raccoons. And now it's down to the retake for temperature.
Shadows.
Yeah, it really was devastating, the amount of pressure that they were able to apply onto Serenity there, but they were, fortunately for Serenity, they were just able to hold it off, right? Given all of the members that dropped behind them, for them to be able to stay strong and continue their push was, again, just very well played by Serenity. Now temperature, I mean,
wow,
he can try. He can try, but this one's tough.
Shadows.
Well, they're playing for long. We know that, but do they know that? Now he does. You'll find out the hard way, and the force up for Moon Raccoons. It initially looked like they weren't, but they did. And so, oh wait, no, they didn't. How did they get those weapons? How do they? Well, I guess you're right. Only one player did force up. Profi, as you can see here, doesn't have the heavy armor. I thought for some reason seeing temperature with the Spectre there, but he found that upgrade after the bloodbath in B main. And so now, this is the turning point for Moon Raccoons. You can't close this round out. We're going to map 3. this is a round that you should not be losing. So we'll see how fast Serenity push in through B main. We usually see those pushes be fast. And can Profi deny? As the owl drone comes through, they're going to push in fast. They know that he's looking in through the drone. Oh, but they back away. Flash as well from the opposite side. And a paranoia. The push is halted completely.
Yeah, that utility alone was enough to make them think, all right, we can't do this anymore. As you mentioned, it was the flash and it was the paranoia, and then there was a dart that followed up shortly after just to ensure that that was no longer going to be a threat. Moon Raccoons, very impressive use of utility to keep that aggressive push that you called ahead of time, Simo, at bay.
Now it's going to be a slow-moving push towards this A site. No operator in the hands of FIEND, so he's not going to be able to do damage from distance, but still has the Phantom in hand. The camera will spot them out early, as it has an interesting angle to look in towards A main. The smoke comes through. Recon Bolt as well does not spot him out, and now as they start to come through, one has to come easy. It does for FIEND. Showtime is down, and now Serenity will have control, but it's a 4v5 retake in favor of Moon.
Spike planted.
Oh, and it's getting worse for Serenity. Make that a 5v3, a 5v2. Serenity have just been picked apart on this side of 3K. For FIEND, Rebo gets the last one as well, makes quick work of Eazy. They're going to be able to defuse this fight. You mentioned that this was a round that they had to pull off, right? Like, this was it for them. They needed to do this, or else we were looking at map 3. Moon Raccoons have delivered.
Yeah, they did, and they should have. They were supposed to. And now we're looking at, once again, an eco round, but the same push as last time for Serenity. But this time I expect it to be faster, considering the eco. Showtime with the Bucky. Not necessarily a judge. He still can buy the judge. He doesn't need to soft buy that low. He can buy himself a judge and still have that same tens factor impact that we saw in that previous best of 3. But now they've got a counter paranoia, and of course, yeah, he's got to run, he's got to go. Paranoia with the counter from temperature. How many members can he find? He hasn't really peaked effectively. Showtime with the upgrade takes him down. This is a huge round for Serenity.
Yeah, and it was really that paranoia, right, that gave them room to get onto the site. You also saw Temperature use a smoke as the opener to the round. FIEND from up top, able to take care of Turnup. That was filthy.
Still has, oh, I thought he had an updraft left. He does not. Scourge playing from B main. Knives will find him 2v3. ALEKSANDAR and FIEND. Smokes are available. So's the tailwind. He decides to go in fast. The flashes are just trying to use to sort of provide some assistance. But Showtime with the Bucky swaps back to the Bucky after he had the Phantom originally. Serenity 2 away from taking us to map 3.
We mentioned in the previous round that Moon Raccoons had to win that one, right? This one that we just saw really was a must-win for them in a lot of ways as well, just to kind of keep Serenity's economy down, right? But they were able to. Serenity was just kind of really ruined them, and it was the paranoia at the beginning that kind of opened the door for them and let them pick them apart. Now, Serenity looking to spread a little bit of love towards the middle of the map. We haven't seen a look from them on the attacking side towards mid at all.
Well, Moon Raccoons are finally taking matters into their own hands and aggressively pushing through B main. They use the Owl Drone. They've got FIEND there. And Serenity, a lot of courtyard control. Haven't decided to push through A main yet. But this ground covered by Moon Raccoons kind of tells a picture to say, hey, they're not really anywhere near this B side. Expect a fast A hit, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from Showtime to kick us off.
Yeah, you even saw an early paranoia try to clear out that tree room as Serenity worked their way in. Oh my gosh, here's the Rolling Thunder too. Showtime was able to get one, is gonna get knocked up, however, and concussed, and eventually will drop at the hands of Profi. Meanwhile, the Hunter Fury is gonna be used. Serenity just down to one member left. Alexander is gonna get taken out, but Turnup is still outnumbered here in a 1v2.
Spike's not down either. Another must-win for
30
Moon
seconds
Raccoons.
left.
And they've got a 50 here. So Turnup just trying to check whatever he can. He has a recon bolt available. That's what's next up on the serving plate. And he's going to move in fast. Hopefully spot somebody else. Oh, there's a player in the tree room. Oh, there's another player to the right. Profi takes him down. Serenity still within distance, still can close this one out. The Moon Raccoons needed that one once again, but the economy is not really bad for Serenity. In fact, it's amazing. got 8,400 on Showtime. Several members are more than capable of buying. In fact, I think Showtime will likely buy for Scourge since he has enough. Never mind, Psych. That's a greedy op for him, and Scourge is gonna have to sit this one out. Oh, somebody buys for him. Okay, so he's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, the thing is, too, all of that money that we were talking about them having at the beginning around has been invested in early look towards A, as they're sending a lot of members that way. There's not going to be any aggressive peeking from Moon Raccoons early on. Furthermore, for Serenity, they did have Joseph kind of lurking his way over towards B, didn't get any info, and is going to rotate back around. For Moon Raccoons, they have nobody on the site, right? They're really going to be playing for this retake here. There is one player who's going to be holding a cheeky angle from over on tree. It's going to kind of have an opportunity. You see some of the cages already begin to drop. They tried closing the door, and they got punished for it.
I like this adaptation from Moon Raccoons as well. Profi's just causing a ruckus towards the A main side. They use so many resources to check the B main side. They had 4 members at the start of the round, and Aldrone, and of course FIEND pushing up. And now Profi's getting in a position to stop any late round B side rotates. But now it's footing is quite clear. They're still there, still on the A main side. There's a camera there. Rebo was able to stop the push initially, but Profi is taking the extra mile to get into a position to deny that even further, as he's now positioned in the attacker spawn, waiting for the push in. They've got great angles set up here for the Moon Raccoons. It's all down to Eazy, and once again, it's going to be a difficult task for him in a 1v3. Moon Raccoons, they reposition different angles to look in towards these archways. Profi lurking from behind in case this does kind of fall short. But with not much time left and the spike having to go down, pushes up, and Moon Raccoons win yet another round. They trail by 4.
The thing for Serenity, too, was Eazy had an opportunity, right? In a 1v3, he was 1 point away from having from the shadows. If he's able to get a pick, you know, maybe he can flip the map and make something spicy happen. But nonetheless, Moon Raccoons hold off yet again. That's 2 rounds in a row for them. We talked about the money that Serenity had in that at the beginning of that last round and how they were going to be able to spread the wealth. But all of that was spent. And now, once again, they're down to really nothing. You see a couple of pinks coming out from Serenity early on through Tree Room. Keep a close eye on that. And whether or not they're going to play something that way. They're moseying their way up Catwalk. Slowly, nobody's home. They haven't spotted anything yet. But that's certainly the way they want to go.
Serenity have done a great job of conditioning Moon Raccoons to say, we're going to hit this B side fast all the time, every time. And now that they hit the Catwalk side, this is something I don't think Moon Raccoons expected, but still prepared for anyway. They had great presence in the Tree Room, a player playing down, up above in heaven, and he's about to mow down the Mahal 3K on the round. This is, of course, the Eco. They're trying to find a couple of upgrades. The Frenzy is able to find temperature, but ALEKSANDAR from heaven will be exactly Joseph's demise down in hell. Moon Raccoons now trail by 3. Now we're starting to see them come alive. But this round, this is the round that Serenity make the pendulum swing. The gun round is before us.
They're going to be bringing an operator into the fold as well for Showtime. So hopefully, at least for Serenity, try to respond. Try to be able to tango really with FIEND and the firepower he's going to be able to bring into it. Also to note, from Serenity, keep a close eye on where they're going to be poised up. You've got both operators on one side of the map playing towards B, so there's opportunity for something electric to happen here. Both Omens opening up with smokes, both Sovas opening up with darts as well. Mirror starts from both squads.
Oh, will the Aldrone spot him? Yes, it will. That's good information to know. Shot's going to come through to try to deny any aggressive peeks, but Serenity, they're willing to play this passively because they've conditioned the Moon Raccoons in a variety of different ways. For the most part, the B main fast push, where there's an op posted up as you had identified. But this push towards this A site, this time Moon Raccoons aren't going to be quite ready for it, depending on how slow Serenity decide to play this. 5 members strong, pushing up A main. Rebo is going to be the only player to identify this setup. However many members he can find is going to be a benefit to the Moon Raccoons. The Aldrone is going to be used to try to clear out any of those tripwires. And now there's a TP up in towards heaven as well. Nobody's going to be there to stop it. Oh, yes, ALEKSANDAR is there, but they still managed to make their way onto the site.
Yeah, Moon Raccoons from the very beginning wanted to play this as a retake. You saw Temperature, excuse me, not Temperature, you saw Rebo playing off towards Tree Room. They had no presence on the site proper. This is what they wanted. This is the setup that they were playing for, but now Moon Raccoons are gonna have to execute on it. FIEND goes up, not tagging anyone up with the Ghost, but he still has that Operator in his back pocket. Nobody has dropped from either squad, and now things are gonna go down. Rebo goes in, goes aggressive, able to take care of Scourge, swings for the second, and is gonna get dropped. But but Temperature and ALEKSANDAR join in. Serenity just down to 2 members left. Joseph gets dropped in hell. FIEND on the defuse. He's gonna stick it, not even gonna get a chance to pull off any shenanigans. ALEKSANDAR with the 3K on the round. Moon Raccoons bridge the gap down to 2.
It was a well-timed retake as well. Membership from the Heaven side and the Tree Room side. Showtime, of course, got smoked off, so he couldn't participate in keeping his team members alive. He tries to aggressively peek. If he finds a pick there, great, but he has to tailwind out without finding anything. So definitely a tough spot for Serenity. Moon Raccoons now trailed by 2. We talked about this defensive half being super good for the Moon Raccoons. If they started with winning the pistol, we definitely would have seen a little bit more success. But Serenity can still close this one out, and they're going back to the old tried and true, the fast BW hit.
Turnup using a drone to get some info, and he's gonna have the Hunter's Fury there. Was able to tag one up, looking for the kill. 2 shots haven't connected, and the third won't finish the job either. However, they were able to push off members of Moon Raccoon off that site, at least for a little bit. Serenity thinking twice about whether or not B is where they want to go, and, well, reasonably so.
This may still end up being B. If they pump fake hard enough on the B main push, they could have worked their way up through the middle. They're just going to work up through Catwalk. But as we had already identified, Moon Raccoons has been phenomenal in this A-side retake, and that's unfortunate for Showtime. Or that was a fake. That might have been the fake, but now as they start to push him back in towards B, Profi's in a good spot. So is FIEND. He's going to find one. Tailwinds to safety, and the wired carpet is rolled out straight for Serenity. They're stuck in this spot. Spike is nowhere near safety, and the aftershock for Turnup. He's got to get to a safe spot. Guess who's there with the up? It's FIEND. Another one for FIEND. Moon Raccoons trail by 1.
They just got sandwiched in, right? Serenity didn't have any room to work with them. By the time they realized they were sandwiched in, they had nowhere else to go. They had committed everything onto that B site. That's where they wanted to go, and Moon Raccoons just had them like shooting fish in a barrel. Profi was on site proper. There were a couple of resources coming in from the defensive side as well, from the spawn, and there's just no room, right? FIEND had that Operator, was locking down the middle of the map, and they thought, well, crap, we're stuck. Moon Raccoons, as you mentioned, just 1 round behind now. This comeback has been absolutely fascinating. It's been stellar, but it's not over yet. A little bit of flash early on, a little bit of dash from Showtime. He's able to get Profi, but Temperature trades it out.
Out of my way.
Yep, they're still stuck in B main once again. The Blade Storm is called, excuse me, by FIEND. Oh, Temperature holds the line. The stinger from range can't get it done. We're up to 11-11. We're tied up. I never thought I'd be in a position to talk about Moon Raccoons in this way. Look at the first half. Serenity were up by 5. It was looking grim for the Raccoons on the moon. And now, look at that, 6 rounds in a row. And I think to an extent, Serenity may have conditioned themselves that the B-side hit doesn't work. But to be fair, a few rounds that they have tried it in the past 3, in the past 4, they haven't had much success. So the A-side just makes the most sense.
FIEND early on with the Operators, gonna get a chance. Yeah, there was no Leer, there was no nothing. It was dry, but somehow he stays alive. Now that Leer's gonna come through, but they got info. They don't want to be pushing into that Operator from FIEND. They're gonna rotate away.
Serenity pull off. Moon Raccoons still holding the same defensive setup that they have, and it seems to be working. If it ain't broke, there's no need to fix it. And once again, Serenity looking towards this catwalk. They've got a little bit more aggression from Showtime towards B main, and I like this because he can catch rotates off if they pull off the B site. And if he finds picks, they can fast move through the middle and just hit the B site accordingly, but he doesn't get in position to do so. And now Rebo's got to hold the line with Temperature.
Oh, the paranoia was so good. He was able to take care of Joseph too, but it looked like he hit 3 or 4 of them. Scourge still manages to stay alive and takes care of FIEND, backs out to safety. Once again, the utility from Moon Raccoons is going to be problematic. Showtime! Showtime! Oh my gosh! Showtime does it to Profi. It didn't look good, but he was able to react in time.
Oh, Temperature. Do they anticipate him being here? He's crab walking underneath the ledge, waiting for them to jump through. He's buying so much time. Temperature! 3 on the round, 2 remaining. Spike is in enemy lines, and guess who's fast moving towards B main? It's Rebo. He's sprinting. His little legs can only take him so far, but Temperature is holding down the line in the backside. If he can just stall for as long as he can, Showtime will fall. The spike's been planted, but Rebo comes in for the flank. It's beautiful for Moon Raccoons. They're sitting at series and match point.
Unreal. Temperature really... Temperatures from the shadow cracked that thing open, and it was so well played by him to respond and like preemptively make that move. Right on the defending side, knowing that that's where they were going to be going, he gets into a position to really cause severe problems to Serenity, and then the trigger discipline early on, not just to secure the first kill, but to ensure he was going to be able to get more bang for his buck. Gets the second one as well, and then anchors down back behind the site. So well played by Temperature. 21 and 17 on the map for him. Moon Raccoons have emerged, ladies and gentlemen. They've woken up. They've won an obscene amount of rounds in a row, and now they're looking to put the finishing touches on this comeback story and take care of Serenity. Fiend with the opener, and Profi follows up as well. Things not looking good for Serenity.
Serenity once again trying to go back to the tried and true, and guess who's there waiting for him? Fiend. In an angle that I don't think Serenity super expected him to be in. Clean off shot. They saw him and still decided to peek anyways, and then Tailwind's out with safety from Profi. And now Showtime tries to get aggressive. Temperature there. It's all falling apart for Serenity. They were so close, and yet so far. The round's not over yet. A 1v4. They know where Turnup is. Spike is down as well, and he's still going to be able to pick it up. But Fiend is there to pick up the frag. Moon Raccoons. They will face TSM tomorrow, and Serenity will fall, being eliminated from the closed qualifier.
Moon Raccoons, man, the response that they showed in the second half really was impressive. Let's get Taylor back in on the action, help us break things down on that.